Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monique Macrin. I'm a wellness coach and a pregnancy and postnatal coach. Now, thank you so much for clicking on this video, but before I continue, kindly like this video. Also subscribe. If you pressed on this video, then that means you're interested in the kind of content that I share, and that is pregnancy, breastfeeding, and everything motherhood. So please subscribe. So today we're talking about something that is such a nuisance for most mothers. Actually almost all mothers, like 99% of mothers will experience cracked nipples. I know. It's painful, let me tell you. I think I'm going to start this video with a little bit of my experience, and especially with my first baby. God, it was so painful. My nipples were cracked. They were even like bleeding a little bit. And I remember the very first time my daughter would try to, suckle, I used to scream, like literally I would be like, what? It was so painful. And at some point I remember telling my mom, I don't want to breastfeed anymore, it's so painful. And she used to tell me, like, that's how motherhood is. The more you continue breastfeeding her, the easier it gets. And yeah, honestly, the more I continued breastfeeding her, the easier it got. Yeah, but now that I know better, I know there are things I could have done to prevent the nipples from cracking, and also to help the nipples heal fast. Because you see, sometimes you're not able to prevent. Maybe you didn't have access to information that would help you, and you would want something that will help you ease the pain and treat the cracked nipples. Okay, so let's get right into it. And the best way to start this video is by telling you how to prevent cracked nipples, because the best treatment is actually prevention, right? So let's start. How do you prevent nipple cracks? The very sure way of preventing nipple cracks is by getting the right attachment. You get, ensuring that the latch is good. What is a latch? Because I keep saying, make sure that the latch is good. Number one, ensure that the baby is in the right position. Number two, ensure that the baby has latched properly. Now, I will make a video describing the right position for breastfeeding as well as a good latch. So after this video, please go to the video that I'm going to make next, and they're going to be uploaded the same day. Actually, those two particular videos, I'm going to upload them simultaneously, so that after watching this video and you want to know what a good latch is, and you also want to know the best breastfeeding technique, you're able to, get the wholesome information. Right, so the very first thing is to get a good latch. Like when the baby latches properly, then that is a sure bet you won't get a cracked nipple. Okay, and the other way you can be able to prevent cracked nipples is by ensuring that the skin around the nipple is flexible, like, improve the elasticity of the skin. And you can start this way during pregnancy. So how do you do it? You need to be massaging your nipples with olive oil. Olive oil has healing properties. Olive oil or coconut oil, honestly, but from experience, coconut oil works best for most moms compared to olive oil, right? So you can buy coconut oil and start massaging your nipples even before you give birth. When you do that, you're improving the elasticity of the skin around there. The skin is supple, the circulation around there. Like, you make sure that skin, and also when you're massaging the skin, it makes sure that the skin is used to the rubbing. You get this rubbing effect, the friction. I know with oil it's not like a lot of friction, but you get the skin is used to being disturbed, and this is what is going to happen when the baby starts breastfeeding. So when you start introducing disturbance to the skin early enough, you prepare it for the disturbance that is going to take place during breastfeeding. Now, that is the second way in how you can prevent your nipples from cracking. And the third way, honestly, I do not advocate for this particular one, but you know what, I am here to tell you all the options, and you can choose what works best for you. You can decide to use a nipple shield. When you use a nipple shield, then there is no way you're ever going to get a nipple crack. I do not recommend nipple shields for the long haul, but anyway, you do what is best for you. Yes. So now that you know how to prevent nipple cracks, how do we treat them? So yeah, the worst has happened. Our nipples have cracked and it's painful and you feel like you can't continue breastfeeding. But then again, you know that breastfeeding is important for your baby. So what do you do? This is what you do. Number one, the best medicine for a cracked nipple is your milk. Yes, your milk. So what do you do? Right before you start breastfeeding, you have to wash your breast. This area, it's the brown area, the dark area right before the nipple. I'm going to use layman's language so that you can all understand. Yes, so you need to clean it with alkaline water, that is warm water with a little bit of salt. So you wipe it gently and then you let the baby breastfeed and make sure, we talked about having a good latch. Okay, so after the baby has stopped breastfeeding, you don't remove the baby from the breast like this, because that is what you usually do. Sometimes we just push the baby's head, to remove the nipple. When you do that, you're going to hurt your nipple. So what you do, you put your finger, introduce a vacuum, not really a vacuum, you introduce air into the mouth so that you can break that suction, right? So the baby is breastfeeding like this and you want to remove the baby from the breast, so you just put your finger here and then remove the baby. That instead of let me demonstrate. So this is your nipple, right? And we are saying that so this is your nipple. The baby is breastfeeding, so most of the time we just remove the baby like this. That is not recommended. It's going to hurt you. So what you do, this is the baby. Put your finger here. So that way you do not hurt your nipple. Now, after you've removed the baby, now this part is really important. You have to wipe your breasts after. This is not standard procedure. This is for a mom who has cracked nipples. So why do you wash? Because sometimes there's the bacteria in the mouth, which is really good bacteria, but now you're also introducing it to the nipple. So it's making the situation worse. So what you do is to make sure that you wipe, remove all that bacteria, and then you press a little bit of milk. After you get that milk, apply it on the nipple. You do this every other time after breastfeeding, and honestly, within 3 days, your milk will heal your cracked nipple. Okay, if you do not want to use your milk, you can use creams. I do not like creams because now you're introducing chemicals to your baby when they're breastfeeding, and that will mean every other time you have to keep on wiping the creams. Yeah, so I do not advocate for the creams. If you do not want to use your milk, which is the best, then you can use coconut oil. All right, so when you do that, then be sure you're going to heal your cracked nipples as soon as possible. Now, okay, fine, we know how to prevent, we know how to treat this nipple. So now, in between us healing the nipple, how do we endure this pain? Because it can be so much. What you do is, let's assume most of the time the nipples are not cracked like both of them at the same time. So if, let's say, the left booby is the one that has the cracked nipple, then usually start breastfeeding the baby with the left one. Why? Because babies are very aggressive the very first time they start breastfeeding. They're usually like very hungry. They're like, and when they're using that force and that fussiness, that aggressiveness, it hurts more. So you start breastfeeding with on the breast that has not been hurt. Now, after that, you introduce the baby to this other breast. Okay? Now, please be careful, because if this is going to be the breast that is always the last one, we do not risk extracting a lot of. We don't want to risk reducing the supply of milk to this breast, because remember the law of demand and supply. So after you've breastfed from this part, after the baby has breastfed from this other breast, and you feel like a lot of milk has still been left, please express using your own hands, or you can use an electric pump that is gentle. If the electric pump is not gentle, just use your hand to ensure that you remove all the milk, and then that continues. Now, I hope you have found that information to be useful. Please let me know in the comment section, and as I promised, right after this video, I'm going to upload a video showing you how the right breastfeeding technique. Okay, until next time, until next video, bye. Wait, subscribe guys, like, share and comment.